Good Monday morning, everybody. Monday afternoon for those of you out on the eastern part of the country. I apologize for the slightly delayed start. My microphone stand decided to almost fall off where it was kind of clamped on, so I had to catch that quick before it got kind of like all over the floor, and I didn't really want to be holding my microphone talking because it just doesn't work that well, so we shall see what happens. Anyway, it is Monday, April 6th, 5th, 6th. I can't read my own watch right now. It is April 6th. We are almost a full week into the month of April. Yippee, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Um, Today's episode sponsor are going to be clementines because, well, I ate all the clementines that I had in my bowl. So that was good. They were a yummy little snack. So that was wonderful. Getting fruit and vegetables during this time of quarantine and such is obviously very important. So try to do what you can. I'm having clementines. Maybe I'll have an apple this afternoon. Um, I quickly pivoted from watching the Iowa press conference because it looks like Kimmy Ray Ray has moved her gubernatorial press conferences from like 2:30 in the afternoon here to 11 in the morning. So not ideal in terms of trying to catch that and then pivot to this, but we get the update on the numbers right away. So I'm able to get that. So fortunately, we did get those numbers. And well, no, where did I put that? Nope, it's on my other computer. But it's interesting. So we are going to talk briefly about coronavirus and COVID-19. I'm sorry, it's not the happiest topic, but that's okay. We did see on Sunday when they released the update on the numbers, which she continued. It's like, we're going to start with the update on the numbers. Okay, it's like a segment. I mean, you could change it up a little bit. It's like, hey, these are the latest numbers that we're seeing, or here is a refresher on what data we're seeing. Nope, it is the update on the numbers every time, but that's okay. Anyway, we saw on Sunday about 13% of total tests resulting in positive tests. So that's a lot. Most likely this is due to just people being tested when they actually come in and have symptoms, possibly, and we're not like going out and actively testing a lot of people. So we are down to only about 10% today. So I guess that's better, but it's still not that many people being tested. It's still like less than 1,000 a day, which is probably fine. And I don't know what the distribution like geographically is throughout the state for those, but I guess 10% isn't too bad. It's not great, but it's better than 13, I guess. And if we're just testing the people who come in with symptoms of some kind, then it's probably better than, or the numbers are probably going to look, in this case at least, a little bit worse. The question is, though, all the people who aren't getting tested because they don't necessarily have symptoms of any kind that could be good, or like that could be indicative of whether or not they have coronavirus or suffering from COVID-19. You've got all those people out there still, so that's not great. But after Kimmy Ray Ray's update on the numbers, she proceeded to then announce that she is going to require a bunch of more non-essential businesses to close, which I didn't really realize that there were a bunch that she could still close. I mean, there had been a horse auction at some point last week that had a bunch of people out there, and it looked dumb that a bunch of people were out there gathered around like one barn where we were auctioning off horses, but whatever. Anyway, like she closed a bunch of stores, or like a bunch of like I didn't realize like bowling alleys might still be open, skating rinks. Like she had this whole list of like media related ones, like music, instrument, movie, video, something. All it was, again, it's just listening her list a bunch of stuff. I was trying to write some stuff down, but it's like, oh, there's just a bunch. Like social clubs, malls are now going to be forced to close. I didn't know if malls hadn't been closed yet. Bookstores are probably going to close, so that will be something to keep an eye on. And again, which businesses had or hadn't closed, and by closed, do they mean like completely closed, or is it like still open for delivery? And well, not delivery, because like I don't think they're going to like deliver books, but like curbside pickup, that kind of thing. I know Best Buy was doing like a curbside pickup. You could pick up an order, or you could return stuff through like curbside stuff, but that might not be the case anymore. So who knows? But yep, looks like we are closing more businesses and stuff and doing a lot of more non-essential stuff. And she had somebody related to like law enforcement come up. I forget his name. He had a title, and I'm not doing him any service by not remembering his name or what his job is. But he was talking about how like they're supposedly going to try to be a little bit more judicious and enforce the stuff that is being like coming down as like law in terms of, hey, don't have social gatherings of more than 10 people and stuff. So we shall see what happens, and whether, again, it's a lot of stuff that is like coming down. It's like we're doing a lot of these things, but we're not going to actually issue a shelter in place yet. So I mean, I guess, okay, yes, there's these stores that were open. Like I have no idea, like anybody who lives in Des Moines and who decided to go out and about over like the weekend or something, or if you've got like, if you know somebody who did anybody go to Jordan Creek Mall or to like West, like Valley West Mall? Um, because that was like, I feel like that would be something that you just would definitely not do at this time unless you had some way to pick up something you were ordering. But like I went and got groceries, but I actually ordered them. I ordered them actually a week ago today and picked them up on Saturday. But I don't know. Like there were plenty of cars still out and about, but I didn't really venture anywhere else besides Hy-Vee to know if anything else was like open or busy. So if anybody went to a mall like around here in Des Moines, with like, first of all, why? And then were there a lot of people there? Or was everything still open? I didn't realize that we might not have stuff closed, but who knows? Reese is saying a tiger is now tested for positive for coronavirus. Yes, it has, and that was that. I mean, that's really unfortunate. That stinks. I feel really bad for the tiger. Nobody wants to see like animals being affected by this as well. If folks are going to be stupid about like not, they're like not abiding by social gathering rules and not like keeping their distance, I don't want it to affect animals as well. So that kind of stinks, especially since it was like in a zoo and such. So I don't know what may have like caused that. So that's really unfortunate. But along with, I mean, tangentially, so Dabo Sweeney, again, sports talk briefly. Dabo Sweeney is the head football coach for the University of Clemson Tigers football team. And he had an acronym for like Tigers about coronavirus. And okay, now bear in mind, Dabo Sweeney is, I don't want to label him as conservative, but we're going to use conservative because I don't have a better word for it. He's not a Bible thumper, but he is a bit, he definitely is, he's a Christian and he's somewhat vocal about it. So he's made a couple of comments about like traveling for Easter and a couple other things. But his acronym for Tigers, because Clemson's mascot is Tigers, so TIGERS. This is going to end really soon. And that was met with a lot of criticism, rightfully so. And then it's like, oh, hey, Tigers. And then we find out today that a tiger not in South Carolina or close to Clemson or anything like that has now tested positive for coronavirus. It's, again, these odd like twists of fate and weird coinky-dinks where you have stuff coming out and aligning in ways that you didn't really think it would. It's like, oh, we just in like a massive glitch in the matrix or something like that. But it's kind of weird. And yeah, that's just been strange. But weekend recap. Um, what did I do this weekend? So I did my show on Friday, and then proceeded to not do much else on Friday. I don't think. Yeah, I hung out some, didn't do much. Again, I didn't go anywhere besides get groceries on Saturday. So pat on my back for like socially distancing myself and not exposing myself to too much. So yay me. But didn't do much on Friday. Saturday, I put down 30 miles on my bike on my trainer, so that was fun. That was good. I actually hadn't ridden my bike since like last Sunday, which I didn't realize, so that had been a definite thing that I need to go back and do, so that felt good. I also rode on Sunday, not as far, but that felt good. Got groceries on Saturday. So the movie I ended up watching over the weekend was Captain America Winter Soldier. And okay, we're going to check quick because I forget when it actually came out, but it's been out for a little while. If anybody knows the year it came out, let me know. Okay, Captain America First Avenger came out in 2011, so it was after that. So Winter Soldier was a 2014 film. So it's been out for like almost 6 years. So if somebody hasn't seen it yet, I apologize, but we're going to talk a little bit about stuff, so a little bit of a spoiler alert. But I think I've only seen Winter Soldier like twice, maybe. Like maybe once when it was kind of initially out. I didn't see it in theaters. But then I may have watched it once in the lead up to, like, I tried to watch a bunch of the Marvel movies leading up to Infinity War, not Endgame, Infinity War. So I may have watched them, but I've only seen it like once or twice. And I forgot, like, this is a movie where Romanoff, or Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson, and Captain America Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, kind of really become like closer friends in that because there's a lot of them kind of going through some stuff together. This is the introduction of Falcon, so that was cool. But yeah, then you see a little bit more of like, okay, the intricacies of like, okay, whether or not Shield was like doing everything for the right reasons, and if they were like trying to oversee too much, and then they were kind of getting infiltrated from the inside with Hydra. So I enjoyed watching it, and I had forgotten. It's like, oh no, while it doesn't necessarily tie into, it certainly doesn't tie that much into Infinity War, but it does kind of set up some of the events that maybe will happen with Age of Ultron, the Avengers movie, and with the third Captain America movie. There's like, it builds a little bit more of backstory there, so that was good. So I enjoyed watching that. So definitely one I could recommend going back and seeing again for in terms of a like individual characters sequel movie. I've never actually seen Thor 2, A Dark World, and it sounds like I maybe like should have at least once to kind of understand everything that happens in Endgame. But beyond that, I've heard mixed reviews for it, so I guess I didn't miss out on that much. But I haven't ever seen that. Maybe I'll watch it at some point. But Captain America Winter Soldier, that was my movie for the weekend. Mackenzie's random question of the day. At what point does a flying fish become a swimming bird? So a flying fish, I would say, is probably any fish that is up in the air. So, and then a swimming fish would probably be, or a swimming bird would be a bird that is swimming. So I don't think a flying fish would ever become a swimming bird because they're two different animals. It's like a flying fish is just a fish in the air, while a swimming bird would be a bird that is swimming, and it's two different creatures. They're like two vastly different creatures, like a bird with wings and stuff. I don't think it's quite that simple, Reese, where like fish equals gills, birds equals wings. But I mean, birds have feet, fish don't, I think. So I don't think a flying fish would ever become a swimming bird because just it doesn't. But and again, it's like I don't ever call a penguin a I mean, a penguin is a swimming bird, so I don't also call it a flying fish. I don't think it's like they're two different things. I think so. That's where I'm gonna go with that. But that's a fun little like. Oh, What do you mean by swim? Of course they can swim. Have you not? What? Yeah, of course they swim. Have you not seen penguins, or do you mean just like they dive and then they come back up? Oh no, penguin. No. I don't think penguins can fly. I don't. No, I don't think they can. But penguins can swim. Come on, Reese. You've not been to the Shed Aquarium in Chicago? They have penguins in the aquarium. They like swim around in the water, and they're super duper cute. Penguins are awesome, and yes, they can swim. Yeah, this is no. They don't always stay in the. Where do they get their food? They eat fish. They have to swim to get the fish. Well, actually, it's not always killer whales. It's sometimes like sea lions and stuff too that they try to avoid. But and you need to make. You should have gone on like at spring meeting for the cast. Should have gone to Chicago. Could have learned a bunch at the Shed Aquarium. I think the Shed Aquarium. So the Shed Aquarium Twitter account at one point was following around the penguins because so the aquarium was closed, but folks like the animal keepers had to go in and still care for the animals. So they had the penguins wandering around and exploring the aquarium, like the whole thing, like different parts. It was so cute. Penguins are so cute. And they're like waddling along. It was really fun. So that was fun. If you like seeing penguins and want to see them in slightly different environment, check out the Shed Aquarium Twitter account. They've got a bunch of penguins walking around the entire aquarium, and it's fun. I think San Diego Aquarium? I don't know. Some other zoo or Twitter account or aquarium Twitter account had a video of the animal keeper weighing the penguins, and it involved her trying to coax the penguin to walk over to the scale, and then the penguin yelled at her a bunch, and it makes a very loud sound. That was kind of impressive. But then you see it eventually steps on the scale, and then it transitions to another video or like another segment of video where she's got like 5 or 6 penguins, and then they're slowly getting the idea of, okay, one steps on the scale, she gets its weight, it steps off, the next one steps on. It was really kind of cute, and I enjoy penguins, so it was like, cool, penguins doing stuff that you would, like, okay, in the back of your mind, yeah, it makes sense that they have to like track their weight and stuff, but seeing it done, seeing how they do it is cool, and it's a nice little like, okay, inside baseball, behind the scenes kind of understanding of what goes on. So that was cool. What else did I do this weekend? Not much. Started a couple different books on my Kindle because I had them and they seemed kind of interesting. Didn't make it very far in either of them. Thinking I may end up starting a book again that I've read before. Just something that's a bit more intriguing. Haven't decided what yet. So we shall see. If anybody wants to start a book club of some kind, let me know. And we can like try to coordinate something. But yeah, maybe I'll find a book that I want to reread because like the stuff and starting a book is always a little challenging if you don't know like anything about it. And right now I'm not. It's like you're not going anywhere. You're not like on a commute or anything, so you don't have 20 minutes that you can just like, okay, I know I don't have anything to do for 20 minutes, so I can read. So like sitting around here, it's like, well, there's something else I could probably do. So unless the book is clearly engaging, or I know it's going to be engaging at some point, I'm not as keen to read, at least I've noticed. So trying to address that. So maybe I'll try a different book. I don't know. Beauty of a Kindle is like I can have a bunch of books on there that I'm reading currently and not have like a stack that are like 4 or 5 high of books. It's like, oh, nope, it's all just on the Kindle. So that's nice. But we shall see. Made tacos last night. Those were good. Well, and made taco meat. I don't really prefer to use like taco shells of some kind. It's a little messy, and the stuff falls out pretty easily anyway. So I just will take some tortilla chips and crush them up a little bit, put them like at the bottom of the bowl, and then a little bit of salsa, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of vegetables, and then put the cooked taco meat on top and kind of mix it together. So it's like a taco salad. There's no lettuce because I don't really like lettuce. But usually I'll have, since Reese is asking, what toppings do you use for homemade tacos? So I'll usually have salsa and then some sort of other vegetable. And this is usually where it becomes something non-traditional taco. So last night I had, it was so tortilla chips. Turns out I had the scoops because that had been available at Target when I had gotten chips. But crush up some scoops and then put some taco and Mexican cheese. Yeah, I kind of do. It's like a burrito bowl kind of thing. Taco and Mexican cheese, some mild salsa. Sometimes I'll do medium, depending on how I'm feeling. And then I had some peas. It's like the green peas that I had done with a different meal. So I included some of those, and then warmed them up, and then put the taco meat in there and kind of like stirred it all together. So that's what I did for tacos last night. But I finished off the peas. So this morning, breakfast was eggs and green beans, but I obviously didn't eat all of the green beans. So I will probably have taco meat, chips, salsa, cheese, and green beans tonight. So not a traditional taco green covering like lettuce or avocado or something, but getting some greens still, getting some vegetables. So that's kind of good. So that'll probably what will be to dinner tonight. So yeah, we shall see. That'll be after I think I'm gonna try to ride. So there is, okay, on Zwift there are different badges you can get for like achieving different things. It is in essence a video game, so they've got different achievements or badges. One of them is riding 14 days in a row. So I think you have to do, I think it's just like a 5K, like 3 point something miles every day. So I'm going to try to like actually achieve that now. So I need to ride for another 12 straight days. So that'll be fun. But ride tonight, have my tacos. It'll be good. What else is going on? It's Monday, so hopefully the start of the week hasn't been too kind of much like of a bummer. It's like, oh, it's Monday for folks. So like it's like, okay, we know we're gonna be here until early May at least, so I guess there's a little bit more like maybe it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how it's gonna be. So that's good. But what was it? Oh, the inside videos that Beth Miller and Candace Lee do. Obviously, they've been filming them from their homes the last few weeks, and Beth Miller turns out she's got at least a couple of dogs. She's got her Frenchie, I think it's a Frenchie, that has been like on her lap. Then there's like at the beginning of the video, you see some other dog walk behind her couch. So like, oh, she's got at least a couple. But they had a bunch of different photos from different people sharing their workplace setups, people like having how they've got their monitors and stuff arranged, and then their coworkers, which are either A, their pets, or B, their children, or both. So lots of people posting photos of that. And Beth had a baby carrier, like that you would have on the front of your body, and had her dog in there, which the dog didn't look very happy about. And then when it cut back to Beth and the dog, she was like, "Yeah, you did not enjoy that, did you?" So felt a little bad for the dog. It was like, again, you're just like a baby. It's like, okay, you're like, as a human, you're kind of okay, like sitting like this, and like your back against the like torso of somebody. Cause like, okay, you can kind of see, because it's like how we are. But the dog looks a little discombobulated and like trying to figure out like, okay, why can't I go anywhere and I'm stuck like this? No, it was like a Frenchie or something. It wasn't huge. So yes, Reach, you could definitely have that with Alfie. That would be something. Problem is then he's like right there. I don't know if you want him to be right here while you're trying to do work. Maybe if you're like walking around or something, it would be okay. But no, having it right there. And it's also, I don't know if like if people have dogs who are like constantly on their laps or like in their way while they're trying to do stuff for work, that might be more of a reason to have it. If your dog's just like chilling nearby, or if your cat's just hanging out nearby and isn't necessarily like in the way that much, it'd probably be okay. And yes, you have a bigger dog. You have a bigger dog for a Frenchie, so it'd be it'd be a workout, Reese. It'd be a way for you to stay healthy while stuck inside, so it'd be okay. But that was definitely amusing. So I don't know what like different posts people have been making on Yammer in terms of coworkers and such, or dogs or kids. So hopefully those of you who do have kids are able to spend a little bit more time with them now, so that'd be nice. And you're able to accomplish some stuff. They are able to stay entertained while being home as much as they are. I think schools here at least in like so I've got family who go to the Johnston School District here around Des Moines, and they're trying to decide like if there's going to be like mandatory classes and stuff moving forward that students need to attend or do stuff for. And I've got two cousins where one of them is hoping that they have classes and the other one is hoping that they don't. But one who doesn't want classes has been golfing some, and if they like shut down golf courses and stuff, I don't know what the cousin's gonna do. So we'll kind of wait and see, I guess. But yeah, so it's supposed to be a little bit rainy today, I think. Again, we had freezing rain on Friday, so that was gross. Saturday and Sunday were fine. Maybe a little bit of rain today, and then it's supposed to be like mid to high 70s tomorrow. So that's different. But have that, and then it drops back down a little bit to around the 50s. Much more typical April weather that I would associate like early spring with. But we shall see. Hopefully no snow. I don't want any snow. I don't have to go anywhere, but I don't want snow because that's just kind of disappointing. Baseball is completely just on pause right now because of everything. I think Donald put out something or said something on Saturday. He was hoping that the football season would be just fine. But then, I don't know if it was the governor of California or some California government official was skeptical of that. So it's like, again, that's August, September. So who knows when any kind of sports will start up again. But baseball's waiting like everything else, so we shall see. Fortunately, it's just they haven't started their season yet compared to like basketball or soccer or hockey, where it's like, well, we're kind of like partway through seasons or almost all the way through seasons. So that makes it a little more difficult. So we shall see. But on that cheery note, it is 12:45, 11:45 Central, so hopefully everybody has enjoyed this AMID broadcast. Again, feel free to submit questions at any point through email, Skype, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. If you do want to be part of the show, Kevin, if you want to bring your ukulele on and play, we can certainly try to make that happen. Feel free to reach out. I'd prefer not to just start randomly reaching out to people to come on, but I guess I could do that. And that feels a little intrusive. It's like, hey, will you come on the show? That's much easier if people show like a desire to actually be a part of it. But until tomorrow, everybody stay safe, wash your hands, and remember to socially distance. Have a fantastic Monday, everybody.